if you do punt it a decent distance, if they have the same man returning punts back there that I think they do, the Canes are pretty dangerous there as well.
And the Cavs starting receiver, from my understanding, is out. Cody Cotner, I believe he's out with a shoulder, which if anyone on that defense or anyone on that offense was going to take advantage of a bad coverage,
right? Well,
I would go it was him.
And last time I actually saw them play a preseason game, scrimmage, whatever it was, Cotner was able to catch a tipped ball over the middle of the field and break for 60 yards or so for a touchdown, just with the speed.
And that's what I don't see coming this week. And I think a lot of things that people don't take into consideration because they want to be manly, they want to be tough, they don't want to admit their own shortcomings. I know Flage's gotten better, but Flage has some spots on that field that if Tim Patterson hits you and you hit the right spot of grass that is mostly dirt, you don't want to go to that spot of the field again.
Right.
You can act tough. You can act like that doesn't bother you all you want. But I know the truth.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what level you are.
Yeah, I played there for several years.
Yeah, you take advantage of that. The corner that we joke about. The coffin corner. It's a little bit of pavement. Maybe you try to just give a little receiver a nudge when he's going that direction. Not going to hurt him, but it's sure going to spook him.
He might get up with some road rash.
Yeah, he may. When next time he's got that corner route, he may just sit on it a little bit. All this. Do you have a final score for me?
Final score. Again, I'm going to go with maybe there's a late busted play for the Canes defense late in the game. I'm going to say 20-6.
Very possible. I don't see this being an outlandishly high-scoring game.
Well, and I don't think either offense is the one putting...
The thing that I think a lot of teams don't take into consideration when you're playing a team like the Canes, this happens with some other elite defenses in the Bulldogs, and you see it at all levels. You see it at college if you're playing Bama. You see it in the pros if you're playing like the old Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
A 7-0, a 6-0 score, if you're the losing team,
it's all the pressure in the world.
Feels horrible.
Yeah, you feel like you're down 20.
When the Bucks were playing the Canes last year, we get down 6-0.
Team collapsed.
Because you don't know where you're coming from. Yes, you can find that score, and then 14-0 seems even more impossible. So I think the game may start out close. Either way, I think the final score is going to be the River City Hurricanes 28 and the Kentuckiana Cavalry 0. When Joe was on the show yesterday, he promised a shutout. I think he's going to honor that. I think that front seven mixed with a little bit of the playmakers that have in that secondary is going to be enough. And then you include special teams. I don't know how deep the Cavs are. You include special teams. You include the full. I hear it's going to be 88 and sunny. So Flash Day doesn't have a lot of shade.
Right.
There's none. It's going to be a tough one. All right, moving on. So if you've watched any of the show, you've heard us. We were pretty consistent on the north of the MSFA, but the south, we've been waffling back and forth. Stump talked a little sense into me, and then they followed up. I think the championship game is going to be the Kentucky Spartans versus the Clarksville Airborne. Surprise, we get that Saturday. So a championship preview. Really, depending on what the Canes do and depending on what I see in this game, I think the MSFA is going to be decided a lot earlier than people think.
Right.
What are you expecting in this game? I know we still don't know what we want to know about the Airborne. I think they did, for those who don't know, the Memorial Day weekend, I want to say they got a 6-0 win over the Wolfpack. If I have the team wrong, they won 6-0. It's a win, not as impressive as the 36-6.
Well, and what it is not a loss. Some of these other teams are taking. So, I don't know, kind of what I'm looking for in this game. I wish I could be there to see that game.
Now, I do actually plan on trying to make the trip. So, Matthew Douglas, Randall Turner, I believe that's your name. Get me in. I want to be down there patrolling the sidelines. I like to be like that.
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah, I'd love to make that one. If there was a matchup I was going to make this weekend, it would be that one. I thought I was going to catch the Canes-Cavs game just because it's a little closer. I probably won't make that either, but I want to see if the Airborne defense is legit. Again, I saw some of them in the Winter League, the Spring League, if you will, and they looked pretty stout then, but I don't know if I got to see them play an offense like the Spartans. The Piranhas, they had Corker at quarterback.
Yeah.
Again, it's no downplay of his ability, but he's not quite the passer that the Spartans have.
Right.
And I think we'll get a chance to see if the Spartans' offense is real, or if the Airborne defense is as stout as I think it could be.
So, I do think the Spartans' offense is real. That line is strong. They have a good core of receivers.
Well, and based off prior years,
right.
I would agree.
Even from what I've heard of the first week, albeit against the Colts, they put on a show. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I don't think they played any offense like that outside of the Bulldogs in the TFA.
Right.
My question is, I still don't know the 36 points that the Airborne put on the Rampage. Where did that come from, and can you duplicate that?
Yeah.
Because if you can find that offense, if you can find those holes, if you can find that, I watched the Airborne quite a few times in the TFA. Most of their touchdowns came off of a dump and then a long run.
Right.
I didn't see too many 10, 11 drive offensive plays.
Well, and to go with a lot of the teams that have a pretty stout defense, that's in my knowledge history of semi-pro, that's how their touchdowns come along. Even as back as the Thunder days, if you remember playing us with the Thunder, we might hit a receiver screen for 40 and a touchdown and do nothing else for the rest of the game. So if you can do that, that's still a dangerous offense in my opinion.
But the Spartans, on the other hand, and when the Bucks played them last year, we lost by 3 points. And one thing that I saw was when we did score on offense, it didn't happen in one big play. You have to at least make 5-6 plays out of it.
I
one
agree.
Big play will help you out. I don't know if you can rely on one-hit wonders.
I agree, but there was also a couple times, if you don't remember, where we should have had one-hit wonders.
You're absolutely
right.
right.
We had Tez break a run. 40 yards into the run, his gas tank emptied.
Yeah,
I mean, he broke. It was a great run, but he just ran out of juice. We also had, I can't think of his name.
What position they played?
The other back.
D'Angelo Thomas?
Yes, thank you. We had D'Angelo Thomas break another big run right before the end of the game that I thought was going to go for 6.
On the first drive, had 2 wide open receivers deep.
Yeah.
But I still think even in that game, we had we had a quarterback that was solid.
Right.
Like Marshall.
Right.
I don't know if the Airborne is going to give you that quarterback play.
Right.
And before you blow up the inbox, your quarterback might be good for you. Your quarterback might look good in practice. Your quarterback might have won a flag football tournament. But is your quarterback truly a quarterback?
Right.
Because that's one thing I want to focus on. When I say a team's going to be another team, for the most part, it's not just because I think this team looks better. It's because I have these questions. And I could be proven wrong.
Absolutely.
But do the Airborne have an actual quarterback? Because I know the Spartans do, at least at that first string, at that starter position. Now, I don't know what the Spartans' defense is, but if you have a strong offense, if you have an offense that can put up 30 or 40 points, all your defense has to do is stop once.
Yeah,
maybe twice.
It takes a lot of pressure off of them.
Absolutely, because now the pressure's on that offense, on the Airborne. So, do you have a final prediction for me?
This one's hard because again, there's a lot of unknowns about the Airborne. I'm gonna say Spartans 28, Airborne 12.
So that could very easily be. Once again, I need to see that defense. I'm going because in semi-pro, a lot of times, unless you're a sturdy, strong organization like the Canes have been, like a lot of these other teams that have had success, when you buckle, you buckle.
Yeah,
and I remember this from the Bucks days. You might be down 6-0, 12-0 at halftime. Next thing you know, you're down 40 to nothing.
Yeah.
And you might get a late score. You might make it 40-6. I think that's what's going to happen here. I think the Spartans are going to strike fairly early, maybe have a 14-0 halftime lead. Then I think they're just going to open it up. I think they are going to win by a final score of the Kentucky Spartans 34, Clarksville Airborne 6. All right, those are actually the only 2 games in the MSFA this week. I'm a little confused on the schedule that I received. It was still a working project when I received it. It appears some games were split. 2 games played this week. 2 games were actually played last week. We touched on the Airborne winning 6-0. Another game that we talked about. We have a couple people on the show talking about it. The Tri-State Titans versus the Tennessee Fury. Now, like I said, I believe we had one guy from the Fury on. Was it Tyreek White?
Tyree
White. And then we had 2 guys on from the Titans. You had Michael Scott, great asset to the show. Feel free to call in, Mike. And Eric Washington. Got 2 conflicting stories. 2 defensive guys from the from the Titans said they're not scoring on us. No way, no how. The offensive guy from the Fury said we're going to score pretty much whenever he wants. I think he even said he was going to have 2 touchdowns, and he had this majestic quarterback that was going to come in like Cam Newton and throw for 3.
Well, and both stories were wrong to an extent.
Yeah, well, it's like the truth. It's like the truth. There's your story, there's his story, and then there's the truth, which is in the middle. But the defense did show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, obviously you beat them 42-20. For those who don't know, the final score was the Tri-State Titans 42, the Tennessee Fury 20. I believe the running back that gave us a call was held to 1 touchdown. I don't know the story about it. Was it in garbage time? Was it luck? Was it fluke? Either way, he had 1. He promised us 2, but he had 1.
Yeah, and if Mike can call in, maybe we can get the story on that.
Yeah. We don't have really. We'd love to hear from you. We don't have all day to just chat today. We got a full docket with the games coming back this week. But if you'd love to call, make a quick statement, a quick question, we certainly love to have you. It seems like everybody enjoys when our viewers call in, when they get to actually hear from the players and at least from their side. But it split down the middle. But at the end of the day, it was a 22-point whooping. I expected more from you, Fury. Actually, I didn't. I thought the Titans were head and shoulders. I thought those 3 teams, mixed in maybe with the Airborne, the Canes, Spartans, Titans, are head and shoulders above everyone else.
Well, here's why I did expect more. Because early on, again, maybe from lack of experience, I picked the Airborne to be the favorite from that side of the tournament there, the bracket, if you will. And the Fury seemed to throw a little hate my way for that, because did I know that they beat the Airborne?
But in a different time, a different league, different players. Everybody wants to talk about last year, what happened. Things happen. Semi-pro, it is a carousel. So I didn't mean to cut you off there, but for people who try to say that, oh, the Wolfpack beat this team, or oh, this team beat that team. I hear it in all the other leagues. Oh, well, historically, this team's only lost X amount of games. Well, that year ended. We're in a new year. We're with a new squad. Your star quarterback may have retired, may have moved to Timbuktu, and now it happened with the Bucks.
Right, absolutely.
With the year they was in the KFL, we had Brent. We had a really great offense with a sustainable defense. We came in and really competed with a lot of teams. Well, that next year when we jumped to the MLFA and we got blasted by the Braves, everybody was like, what happened?
Yeah. Well, we lost our quarterback.
Well, you lose your quarterback.
We lost a receiver.
You lost 2 receivers.
Well, little
yeah,
guy.
You lost T3 and you lost Mojo.
Yeah.
And then linemen left. Some of the defense left. Name stayed the same, but every face was completely different. So when you come and you're saying, hey, historically, we've never lost to this team. Oh, Michael Scott. We will take time for you. What's going on, Mike? Can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Yeah, what up, Matt?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm all right. How you doing? What up, Stump?
What's up, boss?
Congratulations on the win last week. You came in, said you was going to get it. You made it happen.
Yeah, man. I told you there ain't going to be none of that 5 touchdown stuff. Ain't none of that.
So, did you get a touchdown?
No, I collected 2 helmets. I knocked 2 helmets off. So,
did you get a personal foul?
Oh, no, I didn't get that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, matter of fact, I did. I did grab
that's
one
why
of
you
those.
There we
won.
go. You're back.
I told
Yeah,
you.
I'm back.
When
I'm back.
Michael Scott gets a flag, his team wins.
I'm undefeated when I get a personal foul.
Hey, you are, and if you can guarantee me that you can find the line of getting one personal foul or one flag, but not two, I'll tell you right now, Titans will win the league. But you got to find that line, because if you get thrown out, your team's losing.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to the Flurry too, man. They did come out. They did travel good, and you know what I mean. They did fight, but dude, him getting on this show and then putting all those posts, it just put a target on his back. So we got to him a little bit. We knocked him out for the other game for a little bit. He come on back in. He did get him one, but other than that, it wasn't too much of nothing.
So how'd
Number
that
15
touchdown
was
go?
nice, that little quarterback.
The touchdown he got, how'd that happen? We talking a 1-yard dive, or did he bust a run on you guys?
Oh no, I think he got a. It was like a 20-yard run.
Oh, okay.
It was like a. Yeah, I think it was like a little outside counter, and he did his little thing. He got loose.
So he's got a little
score.
juice in the tank then.
Yeah, he ain't as bad as, you know what I mean. I mean, he ain't as bad as what his little performance was. But when you get on Facebook and do all that talking, you know, you got to be prepared to come out that Saturday and do some balling.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where it comes down to a lot. I heard him on the phone. He was very passionate. He believed in himself. He believed in his
Good
team.
looking, Sam.
As he should.
But I also heard from you, and I heard from Eric Washington, and I felt that the passion was even higher. I felt that you're not going to admit it, so you don't have to, but I felt that you would have rather lost, but him not gain a single yard than win,
Right.
and him sit on the sideline. Or him have a big game, but you guys win.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know how we get down. You know, we've been teammates, and you've been my coach. So I mean, you really do know me. But yeah, I could truthfully say, like, it was all about shutting him down. I don't care about that. I mean, of course I wanted the dub.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I didn't give a damn. I mean, I didn't care nothing about that. I was just trying to hit him and stop him and let him know that outside of that TFA, there's other teams out here balling.
Absolutely.
So.
And I think that's actually more of a shine of respect to him, because you were able to cut him off, and the team didn't really eat.
Right.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Yeah, that's perfectly right. But I mean, I did hear a couple of his guys. I ain't gonna call them out. I mean, 'cause some of them are cool. But they was like, you know, by the end of the game, they was saying, and probably before halftime, they was like, you should have never got on Facebook and said all that or whatever. So,
Hey,
you know,
CrossTalk, losing teams games since 2018. If you want to get beat, give us a call and call out the wrong team, and that's how it happens. But Mike, you back. I mean, hey, and all the respect in the world to you. You were on here week 1. You didn't say nothing crazy, but you were confident you were going to beat the Canes. You didn't. You came on, you faced the music, and then you got back out there and got the win. I wish y'all was playing this week, because I want to see more. I seen y'all lose.
Absolutely.
I seen y'all dominate. I'm ready to see that next level.
right, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know what Courtney John did with the schedule, but the schedule is kind of shaky, because I don't know how they got 5 or 7 conference games and we only got 5. I think somebody need to look into that. CrossTalk need to look into that and show some light on that.
Yes, CrossTalk has been behind this. I don't know if you remember last year with the Bucks, the Cavalry played the same team, or the Trojans played the same team like 3 or 4 times
In the first 5 weeks.
in the first 5 weeks, and here we are driving to Mountain Home, Arkansas, to play some team in the middle of nowhere in 120-degree weather, and we're like, where's our 5-6 easy wins?
Yeah.
Right.
We had to go to the
That's
Bulldogs
what
week 1.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on with that schedule. And plus, you know, I mean, there's a lot of little stuff. I still want to know what happened with that merger. You know what I mean? I don't think nobody shed no light on that.
Uh-oh. See, you might stumble on something you don't want to see. You start asking those questions now.
Oh, no, I want to see it all. I ain't seen
I'll
none
tell you
of
what.
that. Shit on both sides.
I tell you what, next week, give us a call. I'm gonna try to find some answers for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You too, Stump. You know, I love you too, Stump.
Yeah, appreciate
Don't worry.
it.
I need you to help me out too, Stump.
All right, man, we're going to have to get on to the next subject, but like